boys and girls, chicklets, bruisers. We've got something here on the radar. Anybody, do you know what these are? I don't know. I found this at Goodwill. Check it out. Oh. I mean, it's got a cutout right here, or a recess, I should say. It's not a total cutout. And then in the bottom of that recess, there are 2 holes that I can barely get the tips of my fingies in. See if you can pick up on this. Let's turn the yellow light on. Oh yeah. So that's the recess. Then to go with that recess, they've included the whatever hardware. I don't even know. They've got it taped on. So the tape is most likely going to peel this paint off. But this feels and looks like lacquer, so it's badass. This is not going on my airplane, gentlemen and ladies and children of all ages. Kind of looks, at that angle, it looks like a heli. Like a heli. It's super heavy, too. Like a heli cockpit, right? Climb in, let's take a flight. But the rotor's gone. Anywho, I just thought I'd show you this. I picked it up at Goodwill. I don't know what it is. I'm looking it up today. But I'm cutting it up today as well. What? Yeah, you heard me. And you know me, don't you? I'm going to do stuff, weird stuff. Look at this front end. Okay, what does that remind you of? You sport racers out there, maybe? Do you know? Yeah, it looks like a motorcycle fairing. A cafe racer fairing. Can you see that with me? Huh? Can you see the front end, the bullet nose where you'd put a light bulb drink? And then, you know, down here, of course, it's got a wrap around, which this does very nicely. To the bottom has a flat base, so, or a, you know, a kind of like dished out base. And then this side, right, where you'd have a blinker blink. And then the whole windshield could wrap way back like Alien's head. I mean, just crazy. And that's what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to cut that bit out and use that sport fairing that I found inside this shape on my recumbent bike. Ooh. Alright, so blink. This is going fairly well. And as you can see, once I cut the bag open and started to peel this stuff back, it reveals another recess that matches the one down below. So, I know I've seen this shape. Well, of course I've seen this shape. I mean, I've seen planters and lamps and side tables, maybe. I don't know. I've seen things made from this shape. And there's a name for this shape. It escapes me at the moment. The other thing is, though, I don't know. It's just, what is it? Is it a display piece? Is it part of a totem, maybe? That, no, it wouldn't be part of a totem. Underneath would be a... Okay, so there's a... This is like a siliconized rubber gasket. It's got a couple of nice flatties. It's got a couple of threaded studs. Just, you know, matching, really nice nut. And came with its own nut driver. You can just throw a screwdriver through the holes there and turn those nuts. That's it. So if you have a clue what this beast is, let me know. I was thinking maybe I could make a speaker cabinet out of it as well, because it does have some volume here. It's got a nice curvature, but you'd have to figure out the math and everything. But look at this, man. This is my cockpit now. I can put all my gauges here, whatever I want. right there. This is going to be so radical. So there's the bottom. Like I said, it's dished out so it'll sit like a planter pot. No holes. There is a, you know, mold mark there. Release mark, whatever they call it. Feel free to correct me anytime. But other than Mars and Venus, no, Mars and scratches, things like that, which I may be able to buff this out depending on how well they painted it, or I might just paint, you know, because it's got some, you can see that, whatever this was molded or whatever, they didn't really come back and make this perfect, and I'm sure it would look better if it was. This is what I'm saying to you. But this thing, I just don't, I don't know what that is. It's not a tripod, but it is a pod. It's a stipod. What am I talking about? What I have my phone sitting on right now. It's called a stipod. Don't ask. That's where it gets squeaks. You like the squeaks. So anyway, we got this shape here that we want to make a fairing from. It's hollow, right? We want to cut into it like I'm thinking. So here's the front end, right? You can see that. Headlight, whatever. Side lights. And then it comes up, right? And it's got a shield. So it should cut away like that. Like the top of a cafe fairing would. So that's where your helmet goes when you're tucked in, right? And then come down, follow this line. Now, underneath here, this will all have to be, this will all have to come out the inside, right? Because we just want the outer shell. And then probably going to come around here. It starts to get a little fat in here. I don't want to get fat. So I may not have much of this bottom portion. Might just come and do a stylized little bing. And then down here, probably got to just follow this ellipse. Maybe even leave the edge on here for structural purposes. Cut down in quarter, half inch maybe. Right? So that'll be a structural member because that's really nice, and I believe it's probably thicker there for stability. I think this is plastic. I don't know, maybe resin, plastic, something like that. You guys out there that do this stuff all the time probably know. But anyway, that's my plan. What do you think? Is it gonna work? You got blue tape. Excuse me, Ryo. You know, you just start mapping out like where I'm gonna come to. Probably be way out here. I just need to even that up, like the Hart sisters, Nancy and Ann, say. Even it up, even it up, even it up. So that's going to be where I start. Now I may come up from there a bit and just start rolling this tape around this circle. I'm going to use that as my guide, really, for how far in I'm coming, and then we'll roll back out to here somewhere. And huh? What do you think? Cut all this off. So we've got this nice helmet cutaway. Well, it's not nice, but it will be once I cut it. I can sand it and shape it. And then down here, again, like I said, we're gonna... Wait, it's heavy right now because it's quite based. Still see it? Yeah, okay. So down here, we're probably going to come to, I don't know, I'm thinking somewhere in the area of about half the distance. Just leave that there for a second. So what we want to do is we'll make a stylized type of kind of a wing section there. We'll come over and drop into the dish. I think I'm doing this wrong, kids. Where are all my teachers? Dead and gone, son. Dead and gone. Alright, so we're going to drop in. Keep that edge there. It's all rough, you know, just a rough idea. And then once I cut it out, then we make it really nice. Oh, it's coming off. Well, probably because this is a very rough surface. I'm just going to use this as a guide. Now, the rest is pretty simple. This is the only difficult cut, and it's not even that difficult. But I'm going to get this all cut up, and then I'll show you what it looks like after that. Alright, so we're back on the stipod, and this is, by the smell of it, ABS plastic, which has a nice gel coat finish probably. Some mold, and as you can see, I have Frankensteined some pretty nice cuts in said plastic with this here cutoff grinder. Oh, perfect for the prosumer in you, or me. But as it goes with ABS, you end up with melted plastic balling up in your lines. So you got to break through that with one of these. So I'm just going back over my cuts, making sure all the balled up melted plastic is freed so that I can separate this shape. What was difficult was getting my grinder in here. In fact, I don't even think I have a good line there. I have to go back in. You want me to do it on camera? Fine. You're the glutton for punishment, not me. Yes, I'm operating a grinder with long hair. Shut up. I'm also getting ABS plastic chunks in that long hair, which makes it smell much better. Alright, that sounded good. Well, maybe not on your phone or television audio system, but it sounded good in my ear. Alright, flip it over this way. It seems to have some kind of weight in it. Uh-oh. A little bit more cutting. Are you up for this? Are you sure? Okay, so I'm going in wrong ways up. You don't want to see what I'm doing, do you? Check it. That's fine, that's fine. Little scratches here and there. I'm gonna get those out of there. You still watching? Good. Alright, so then I thought, well, how do I get this thing apart? Dead blow. There's something inside. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh. So what is inside? Well, let's find out. What's inside the mystery egg? Are you watching? Is that the right piece to... Yeah. What the... Jiminy... What is this? Just... What? Well, there's my fairing. And that is a supercharger scoop for a dragster. I don't know. You make what you will. Look at that. There are hidden screws holding this onto there. Maybe to... I don't know. This piece has been assembled. There's a seam. Ha! Right where the... Well, no, not there. Can you see that? Can you see that seemingly seam in here? Very strange. Probably because it was molded in two parts and then fused together with heat or something. But this is really crazy. I don't even... I can't tell you. Okay, now we know. This is a box, a bag of rocks. There's a bag of rocks in here. Is this a garden ornament type thing? It is encased in this nylon type of... It's like a dunnage sack. And there you have it, ladies and germs. Huh? It's a bag of rocks. It's going to go in my garden when I get home. Alright, well, this is our fairing piece, okay? See where I'm going with that? I mean, that'll slice right through every bit of wind and minimal body work. Here is the cross section of the top portion here, where you can see this sleeve. They had to make one bigger than the other to fit over it when they put the two pieces together. See this? The bonding area where they come together. Woohoo! So, yeah, dash panel right in here. Right? Cluster. This will probably cut away some kind of shape. And then I imagine up here, I don't know if you can see that, but up here in the back above the dash cluster, this will all cut away. All this thing will be gone. All this right here will be gone. Just leaving the... I'll show you. We'll get it done. See you in the next clip. Alright, I'll put a little bit more grinding on camera just so you can see, you know, when it grabs me. I'm just kidding. So funny. You should see your face right now. Alright, so we're back on the tripod with the camera. Got our wiggle saw. And we're just going to bust this part out, huh? So now you've got your helmet cutaway. Whatever. And I've just got to decide what comes out from there. Managed to cut this out nice, so that's a good bottom there. And yeah, you can even see like a seam line right there. That's crazy. Anyway, just thought you might want to see that little clunk hit with a hammer, huh? Okay, so now you can see I've taped off the rest of what I'm cutting out beneath the windshield, and also I've taped off what's coming off down here where the instrument panel will start. Okay, so this is all instrument panel, all in here. This anything I want to do, can drill holes and put gauges in, put switches, toggles, whatever. That's the rock bag holder. And there it is. Sport bike fairing. Now this is not going on a regular bicycle, it's going on a recumbent. Remember, so it's all custom with that recumbent. So yeah, see? Badass, right? Gauge cluster right here. 2 rows, whatever I want, and then that's all cut away, gone. You see in there? Can't you see it, man? So this thing is quite a bit lighter, of course, now that the bag of rocks and all that extra ABS is cut off. You can see how thick they went. There you go. Well, smartphone. Is it? Wow. Anyway. So here you can see how thick this plastic is. It's quite a bit of weight. So I'm going to have to think about cutting out even more of this to gain some weight savings. Possibly this bottom ridge can come out. I don't really need that much extra stability at the bottom, so I'm thinking about cutting that whole ridge out. It makes it nice now because you can actually set it on there, and it really does represent the angle we're looking for, just about. So after I got all that weight off, this thing is super light now and ready for service. Alright, so I got the stipod mounted on a ladder in my dirty shop here. And all kinds of projects going on. But I figured I would, let you see a bit of my work, since most of the time I do work off camera. Oh, there's my missing screwdriver. So I'm taking my trusty old half round and just smoothing out these cuts. This stuff being ABS, it responds to a file much better than to a sanding disc, which is rotating at a high speed. The high speed creates so much friction that it basically melts or lights on fire this plastic. Some of it was smoking while I was cutting. But I did use a flap wheel, on the sander, on the grinder. to it, you know, basically take the flashing off from the, or the melted plastic off from the edges. Now I can kind of clearly see where my lines are supposed to be. Pretty happy with this one. I don't need that, thank you. There we go. Had a flat spot there. Still do a little bit where it meets. That's going to be easy. This is going to be an easy cleanup. Then not sure if that is what I want for this. Is almost a straight up and down cut right here, which I don't think I like. There's no style to it at all. It's just bleh, cut off. So I'm going to want to go ahead and do a basic little whoop, you know, just a whoop. Nice little stylized. To make this cut important, we need to include it in how this corner is going to develop from there and swoop down or whatever. I don't know. We'll think about it. And by we, I mean me and you. And maybe you'll use the comments section to let me know what you think before I get too far on this puppy. I think it's pretty badass. I mean, look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo! It's a track bike. And it's one piece. And it's fairly light. Can always remove more weight. You notice all these fitment tabs that were molded in. So when they put it together, it would fit perfect and glue in real easy. Of course, they left shmoo glue right in here. I just need to peel it off, scrape it off, whatever. Oh, it's actually an epoxy. That I thought it was more like a silicone, but it's, oh, that's hard epoxy. So yeah, I'll be sanding on that to get that junk out of there and this little glob off of here. But yeah, I mean, I could. I chose to leave this bead on here. I like that as a structural piece that begins this arc. Right? I didn't want any flimsiness right here. So I left that bead there, but that is where they join. So I like that really quite a lot. You know what I'm talking about. This can all be sanded really smooth. Might even put some type of louvers or grill, you know, in this windshield type of this shield, just for airflow. You can put little scoops. Who knows? I don't know. You can't really improve on perfection. Well, you can, but it would only be more perfect. I'm gonna go do some more work. You guys go get some iced tea or something, and I'll meet you back here in about 2 shakes. Okay, now back to the half roundness of my half round. So now on this edge, I'm going to go ahead and create a planar surface right here, which is going to be almost horizontal with the ground, basically. And then I will create another planar surface, which meets that one like a blade right here at the tip, at the edge, and cuts down quite a bit at an angle that way, so that when wind slips off this, it literally does slip off. Hopefully, we don't want to make a spoiler. You know, it's funny, today's supercars and some others have computerized ground effects, like wings that move while you're accelerating or decelerating, brakes that deploy and help you in cornering situations or braking situations, as it were. And all that stuff was non-existent back in the late 70s, early 80s, but my brother was talking about it. Now it's commonplace on supercars and hypercars because of their great speeds. You know, when the Saleen S7 came out, it took the world by storm because you could literally, at a certain speed, drive that car upside down and create enough downforce with the weight ratio. The car was very lightweight considering the size. You could create enough downforce to stick to the ceiling. So that's pretty good. I could probably get it better. I'm not a jeweler. By no means. I don't cut diamonds. But this I want to be sort of a diamond cut, so I just got to prevent my wrist from rotating and this from pitching. And then constantly monitor the surface, because it will show me when it's a plane. I will see the reflection of light consistently across the whole surface rather than broken up by ridges or valleys. Anyway, close enough. The cockpit here, I'm going to leave blank for a while. I'm just going to concentrate on these edges. This is another edge that I want to have that diamond precision on, because, again, air is going to be flowing past this. So I'll get to that in a later one. Right now I'm going to tape off the actual accent line. I'm going to cut this to. Might be way over here, I don't know. It might, or I might start up here and come back. What do you think? Gosh, it's so hard to decide. Anyway, it's taco time somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Let's come back to this. Alright, so I've made my decision. You're not going to like it, but I don't care. Here is the top cut that we're going to duplicate over here. It's got kind of a horn or claw type of tip right here where the structure is going to, I'll fill in this hole or something. Maybe I'll put a little LED light on there, I don't know. And blink. And then down at the bottom, I'm going with something almost similar but different. And it's going to have some type of a, you know, some kind of a dish out right here that allows wind to wrap through there. So that's what I'm going with. Just as easy as that, my friends. Don't ever mistrust yourself.